Yo, it's really cool. Welcome back to MMA Prophecy. In this episode, we got UFC Fight Night. Lugue versus Muhammed 2. Let's take a look at this fight card. First fight of the night, kicking off the prelims in the men's bantamweight division. We got Haley versus Kroom. Let's take a look at Alateng Haley. 30 years old, with a record of 14 wins, 8 losses, 2 draws. He's got some finishes there, 4 KOs, 3 submissions, has been finished himself. Take a look at his current record, or recent fights even. This is kind of a must win for him, without a doubt. Slight height disadvantage in this fight. Yeah, I'm sure he's got a height disadvantage, right? He ain't got the advantage. Yeah, disadvantage. He's got some fast hands, man. Good straight. I like his right hand. He's small, but he likes to strike on the outside, which is a bit mad. He lacks a bit of striking defense. Question his cardio a little bit. It's not really bad though. And yeah, he's got some power, decent grappling. Can get a bit wild. But yeah, man, good BJA defense as well. Quite impressed for a fighter of his size. He's a good fighter. Let's take a look at his opponent, Kevin Kroom. 34 years old, 21 wins, 14 losses. He's got quite a few submissions, so you can tell he likes the BJJ game, but he has got some KOs on his record as well, but he has been KO'd himself. So it's that chin alright. Lost his last 2 against decent opposition, to be fair, but still should be beating him if you want to make your way through. He likes the rear naked choke. He has got some BJJ, like I said. He's got some power as well, but he wants to grapple and he wants to use his BJJ. He does apply pressure. He's another one where I question his cardio a little bit. And yeah, this fight, he's got the height and reach advantage. This is a really tricky fight, especially because of the height and reach advantage for Kroom, like I said. But saying that, I'm going to go Haley. I think he's just going to be a bit more active, less tired, a bit more stronger in the grappling, even though Kroom's got the BJJ for it. Haley's defense is alright, and yeah, he's probably the better striker on the feet, so that's going to be the pick. Alateng Haley to get a win. Next fight, we're in the women's strawweight division. We've got Nunez versus Sam Hughes. Let's take a look at Estella Nunez. She's 29 years old, 7 wins, 2 losses, 2 knockouts, has been submitted twice. If you lost your 5 fights, 2 wins at 5. Kind of a must win in this one. This is only her second UFC fight. Nunez is a weird fighter. She's only lost 2 and they are both by submission. She's got like a unique fighting stance, I guess. She doesn't really set up her combos well. She just kind of throws them, lunges. She likes her left kick a lot. And she holds her chin up when she's striking. But she's an okay grappler. She's got a good left hook counter. Good Muay Thai. And yeah. Weird fighter, like I said. Weird. She doesn't give up, but she's not the most impressive. But she can handle her own. Let's take a look at her opponent, Sam Hughes. 29 years old. 5 wins, 4 losses. Her last 5 fights, she's only won 1. Not looking good. This is her 4th UFC fight now, not a single win on her record in the company. So this is a must win. If she doesn't win this, I can see her getting released. She gets hit a lot, but she walks through the punches. Takes 2 to throw 2, I'll say, because she doesn't really take 1 to throw 2. She likes to clinch a lot, but she just kind of holds them against the cage. She's okay at striking, okay at grappling. Question her cardio a little bit, but she's one of them ones where when she's getting tired, she doesn't really give up. Oh, I really didn't know who to pick in this fight. I'm gonna go with Estella Nunez just because Sam Hughes hasn't got a win yet, and she kind of just clinches up and stays in the clinch. She doesn't do much in the clinch. So I'm really not confident I'd stay away from it burn-wise. But I'm gonna take Estella Nunez to get a win. Next fight is in the men's lightweight division. We've got Jordan Leavitt versus Trey Ogden. Let's take a look at Jordan. Is it Leavitt? Might be pronounced like that. 9 wins, only 1 loss. Really dangerous on the ground. Yeah, like super dangerous. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Only 1 loss in his last 5 fights. He's got that UFC experience now. This is going to be his full fight. Coming from Dana White's Contender Series. Only 26 years old, man. Still quite young. He's got that big slam KO, if you ain't seen that. And he's got a crazy side triangle choke. If you haven't seen that. He's not really a striker. He will shoot because he's dangerous on the ground, like I said, with that BJJ. Question his chin a little bit. But yeah, he's got some good ground and pound to throw him with that BJJ as well. But he is a straight grappler and wants to grapple. Let's take a look at his opponent, Trey Ogden. Not showing many stats for him on ESPN's page here. He is 32 years old, 15 wins, 4 losses. Really dangerous on the ground also. Quite a few submission wins. Making his UFC debut here. He's dangerous on the ground, good ground and pound, BJJ. But he's better on the feet, I believe, than what Leavitt is. That's going to be the big difference in this fight. Because I think they're pretty equal on the ground. Leavitt might have slight stronger wrestling. But I'm going to say Ogden's got a better BJJ. Ogden's also got that striking advantage, I believe. I think it may be Southpaw versus Orthodox, which is always interesting. But with that in mind, my pick is going to be Trey Ogden. Risky one, be careful betting wise. Next fight of the night, we're moving up to the men's heavyweight division. We've got Chris Barnett versus Martin Bidet. Let's take a look at Crazy Chris. Should be his nickname, it ain't no. He is 35 years old. Getting on a little bit considering he's just came onto the scene. Or made a name for himself within the UFC after that crazy KO. 22 wins, 7 losses. Hella KOs. This guy's crazy. Puts on the pace. He's got a Taekwondo style, okay. 4 wins, 1 loss. Did lose to Ben Rothwell. That is a bad loss, because Rothwell's so up and down. So he'll be gutted without one. But, Rothwell's dangerous. Barnett's got that crazy heel kick KO if you haven't seen it. He's very athletic for a heavyweight. He throws heavy. He's got power. He's got some fast strikes as well for a heavyweight. But I don't like his cardio. This dude will gas out in 2 rounds. And yeah, it's pretty much your fight to win after that. Let's take a look at his opponent, Martin Bidet. Is it Bidet? I'll say Bidet. 30 wins. 30 years old. 9 wins. 1 loss. 7 KOs in his 9 wins. I'm starting all over the gaff. Here it comes. Ooh, so this is his UFC debut. Interesting. He's come from Dana White's Contender Series. He's tough. He's got a strong clinch game. He's got some power. Bit of BJJ. He's a good grappler, man. But he's not been tested in the UFC. And this is a big test for him. But he's strong, man. This dude's a tough fighter. He gets that nickname for a reason. Spartacus. It's always risky picking a heavyweight fight, I ain't gonna lie. And I'm a big fan of Chris Barnett. Interesting fight. And he's a mad entertaining fighter. But I'm gonna pick Martin Bidet. Another risky fight though. This whole card's got such good matchups. So yeah, that's my pick, Bidet, but be careful. Next fight in the men's lightweight division. It's a cracker. We've got Rafael Garcia versus Jesse Ronson. Looking forward to this one. Let's take a look at Rafael Garcia. 27 years old, 13 wins, 2 losses. 1 KO, 7 submissions. Garcia's a boxing style. He's won 3 out of his last 5 fights. He's lost 2. Oh god. I like Garcia, man. Like I said, really good boxing. He does mix it up though and add in them kicks and some knees here and there. He's got some power. His cardio fades, like he starts to fade in the fight, but he doesn't necessarily back down and give up. He'll keep going, but he fades. He's a tough fighter, man. Really good combos with his strikes with his hands. And he can grapple a bit. He ain't no slouch on the ground. His opponent in this one, Jesse Ronson. If I remember right, Ronson used to fight at PFL. 36 years old, 21 wins, 10 losses. Yes, he's fought at PFL. Ronson's a striker also. Funny he's got the name the Body Snatcher because I've not seen him throwing many body strikes, but we'll move on from that. He walks forward like when he's fighting. He's got some good striking, I guess, but bad head movement. He's not really a grappler. Like, he's coming to strike. And he is an okay striker, but like I said, he lacks head movement, so he gets hit. And in this day and age, man, it's not good. Big age difference here. I'm going to take Rafael Garcia to get a win in this one. And I don't think this one's a risky pick, finally. I'm quite comfortable with this. I think Rafael Garcia is going to get a win and potentially the KO. Next fight, we're in the men's lightweight division. We've got Drakkar Klose versus Brendan Jenkins. Let's take a look. Drakkar Klose is 34 years old now. 11 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw. Such a shame the way them 2 losses have come about. If you haven't seen them, that KO loss he's got to Darush. What a fight. Crazy, crazy knockout. What was his other one? I'm going to have to take a look here, because I don't know if it was Tamer that did it to him. Yeah, it must have been. What was... Oh, no, that was it. The Jeremy Stevens push. It gave him whiplash, didn't it? When they had to stare off at the weigh-ins and Stevens pushed him, gave him whiplash. So yeah, he's had 2 weird instances in the UFC. But he's a good fighter. He's a really good striker. He does drop his hands when he's striking. I hate that. But he mixes it up. He's not the best grappler, but he's okay. But yeah, really dangerous on the feet. And he carries some, like I said, some nasty power. Let's take a look at Brendan Jenkins. Massive underdog in this fight. What? I hate it when the odds are so split like that. It's a fight, for God's sake. Brendan Jenkins is 30, 15 wins, 8 losses, 10 by KO of them wins. I think he's also coming from PFL. Yep, he was in the PFL playoffs. So yeah, I don't know how many fights he's had there. But he's forward there. He lost to Ronson. Now that was a good fight. Or tough fight for him, should I say. Ronson's no pushover. I don't know what's going on there. Jenkins has got some nice... Well, he's got a nice spinning elbow KO, sorry. He's also got a nice switch knee KO. If you ain't seen them, they are really good KOs. Go check them out. So he's got that knockout power. He does get reckless though. And he gets hit. He's a bit of a dog. He's a dog. He just wants to scrap, to be fair. He wants to throw it down on the feet. He's got the nickname the human highlight reel, so you know what he's coming to do. Yeah, I don't think it's going to work against Drakkar Klose. He's got a point to prove. And he's quite a big lightweight. So that's going to be my pick. I'm not as confident as what these odds are saying, so yeah. But my pick's going to be Drakkar Klose to get a win. Next fight, we're in the women's bantamweight division. We've got Lana Landsberg versus Paddy Kienzad. Let's take a look at Lana Landsberg. 40 years old now. So she's coming towards the end of her career. 10 wins, 5 losses. A lot of UFC experience, man. She's fought some big names. She's got a lot of Muay Thai experience. She's not the best grappler though. She's got okay BJJ defense. She's got some really good kicks, I'll give her that. And she throws some nice combos. But she's hittable, man. She's tough, but she's hittable. And like I said, she puts a lot into her strikes, coming from that Muay Thai background. Let's take a look at our opponent, Paddy Kienzad. Both fighting out of Sweden as well. It's another good thing to note. Paddy's 30. Seems like she'll be a bit older now. Seems like she's been about for a minute. Big fan of Paddy. 16 wins, 6 losses. Paddy lost to Pennington. Pennington's on that weird run right now, so we'll let her off with that one. And there was just a lot of clinching in that fight. But Paddy Klose, she showed us she's improved in her grappling and clinching. She's fought some big opposition now. She's got really good boxing. Tough. She's got heart. She's improved her ground game and her clinch, like I said. She's a volume striker. Fastish hands. She throws like punches and bunches, just keeps them pushing. Keeps them going. Doesn't really carry that raw power. But yo, she can get a finish. And you know what, in this fight? I see Paddy Kienzad getting a win. Possibly getting a finish. Very, very, very rare chance. But yeah, man. I'm taking Paddy Kienzad to get a win. Next fight is in the men's light heavyweight division. We've got Devin Clark versus William Knight. This is an interesting fight. Kind of feel sorry for Devin, but yeah. Devin Clark's 32 years old now. 12 wins, 6 losses. Wrestling style. Only won 2 out of his last 5 fights. He's lost 2 in a row. This is a must win. It's not looking good for him in his UFC career if you don't get this dub. Clark's tough, man. Kind of leans in with his head when he's striking. Drives me mad. But he's an okay striker. He has got power. His cardio starts to fade a bit, and it starts to affect his grappling, and I think it weakens his chin. So later in the fight, he's more susceptible to that knockout. And when you're fighting William Knight, if you got any chance of being knocked out, you're in trouble. William Knight's 34 years old now. 11 wins, 3 losses. 1-3 out of his last 5, so he's looking alright in this. Not too much pressure on him. Knight's got that raw power, crazy physique, athletic for a big dude. He's a strong grappler, fast striker, BJJ. He's a good, well-rounded MMA fighter, to be fair. But having that physique, he also ties in the fight, man. His cardio takes a slight effect from it. And it's only natural being ripped the way this guy is. Looks like a superhero. Look at the size of him. Damn, boy. In this one, good fight. I'm going to take William Knight to get a win. Possibly get the KO in this one. Now we're on to the main card. Kicking off the main card in the men's at welterweight division. We've got Mune Laziz versus Lusso. Is it Angulo? Not too sure. Late replacement in this fight, as always. Let's take a look at Mune Laziz. 34 years old. 10 wins, 2 losses. 8 KOs in his 10 wins. So he's a knockout artist. He's had 2 fights in UFC already. Did lose his last one, so he's 1-1 so far. He lost that to body shots if you haven't seen that. 3 massive leg kicks to the body. Ended up putting Laziz down. Laziz is a good prospect. Good grappler. What? Good grappler. He does get hit, but he's a pretty decent striker, man. He's really technical. He mixes it up well with the hands and the kicks and the knees and the elbows and spinning strikes. Like, he uses it all. He's a pretty patient striker as well. So yeah, sometimes I wish he'd just put on the gas a little bit more. But yeah, man, really dangerous on the feet. I said he can do his bit on the ground if he has to. Let's take a look at his late replacement opponent. Angulo, 29 years old, 8 wins, 2 losses, 5 by KO. 1 submission. He fought in a Dana White's Contender Series. He lost out by decision. Boringish fight. He then had a fight which was very similar, but he won that one by decision. And now he's making his UFC debut. He's a heavy hitter. He can grapple. He's always more of a grappler, to be honest. More of a wrestler. He mixes it up on the feet. He's pretty tough. He slows down later on in the fight, but he does keep pushing. He does still walk forward, but he fades. He needs to throw a bit more, and once he does get a takedown when he shoots for it, he needs to do a little bit more of his takedown. Kind of just holds the opponent. Yeah, and this one, being a late replacement and all that as well, don't help. But I'm gonna take Mune Laziz to get the win. I think it's going to be fairly easy as well. Next fight, we're in the men's featherweight division. We got Patsabatini versus TJ Laramie. Let's take a look at Patsabatini. 31 years old, 16 wins, 3 losses. Got 10 submissions. That's crazy. He's on a good win. How many fights is he? 1 in a row now then? Oh, just a 5. Okay, fair enough. But he's undefeated in the UFC. 3 fights in the UFC, 3 wins. Always looks good. He's got a bit of an unorthodox stance to Batini. And it kind of makes sense when you realise he's a grappler. He's more of a ground fighter. Yeah, like weird stance. He kind of sways left to right. Like, so he gives like unorthodox strikes coming from odd places. Really good BJJ. Dangerous on the ground. Question his chin a little bit. Not the best at taking a hit, but you do not want to roll with a guy. Let's take a look at TJ Laramie. 12 wins, 4 losses. 7 knockouts by win. That makes sense, but we'll roll with that. Lost in his UFC debut by submission. Coming off the Contender Series. He's got some good striking, good grappling, good BJJ. Does have some fast hands. Can get a bit reckless with it when he's striking. And he likes to walk his opposition down. Dude's only 24 years old, man, so he's a good prospect to keep an eye on. But in this fight, I'm going to take Patsabatini. I think he'll be able to get a takedown, and he is so dangerous when it gets to the ground with that jiu-jitsu, so Patsabatini is going to be the pick. Next fight, we're in the women's bantamweight division. We've got Mayra Bueno Silva versus Wu Yannan. My apologies. Let's take a look at Mayra Bueno Silva. 30 years old, 7 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw. 5 submissions in them fighters, 7 wins. Back and forth, up and down, iffy record in the UFC so far. This is kind of a must win, I'd say. She did get that draw, so it's not too bad, but yeah. She needs to win this. She puts a lot into her strikes. She's got a Muay Thai style, so I guess that's why. She hits hard, man. She's got some good combos, but she kind of leans back when she's avoiding strikes. She doesn't move to the sides. Yeah, leaning back the way she does, you're bound to get hit. So she needs to change that. She's fighting from shooter box as well. Decent gym. Always forget to point what gyms out that they're fighting out of. But yeah, let's take a look at Wu Yannan. 25 years old. She's young, man. 11 wins at 4 losses. She's got 7 knockouts on her record with them 11 wins. Not the best run in the UFC. Only 1 win. Out of her 4 fights, she's only won 1 of them. And her last performance against Edwards, Jocelyn Edwards, really wasn't impressive. She just got worked on the ground game. And when it wasn't a stand-up, Jocelyn just walked her down, to be fair, threw a couple strikes, shoot for the takedown, and yeah, worked her game. Good game plan from her. But Yannan's a striker who's down to scrap. She needs improvement, like I said, in that stand-up game, surprisingly. She lacks the ground game a little bit, but she's tough, man. She's got heart. Cardio kind of fades on her later in the fight, but she don't give up. She won't stop pushing. I see why the odds are so wide in this fight, but yo, people are forgetting how good Wu Yannan striking is. She is dangerous, and she's only 25. Look at the significant strikes per minute she's landing. Like, come on. Saying all that, my pick is going to be Mayra Bueno Silva. Women's fights are always risky, so be careful, but yeah, it's my pick. Silva to get a dub. Moving on to the men's welterweight division. We've got Miguel Beza versus Andre Fiallo. Let's take a look at Miguel Beza. 29 years old, 10 wins, 2 losses. 10 of them wins have come by... No, 7 of them 10 wins have come by knockout. What is wrong with me? Anyway, he's got some UFC experience. He's been here for a minute. Has lost his last 2. Needs to win this fight. Let's see if he can. Beza's got some power. Really good striking technique. Can get a bit wild with it, but majority of the time he's got some good technique. He's got power. He is a bit flat-footed with his striking, not with his stance, but he's tough. He's good on the ground. But he wants to strike. He's a stand-up fighter. Impressed with Basil. But is he going to crumble under this pressure? Because Andre Fialho, no joke. 28 years old, 14 wins, 4 losses, 11 KOs in them 14 wins, which is impressive. He had that crazy last fight against Pereira. I think he fights. He's fought in PFL, if I remember right. He's got some powerful hands, man. Good counters, will explode at times, and he's got an okay ground game. But he's a striker, and I don't think he's gonna be as impressive in this fight as he was against Pereira. He's gonna have his moments, and he's gonna try to counter. It's like a counter fighter versus a counter fighter. But I think Fialho is gonna start pushing a bit more, and he's gonna get caught. Weird fight, but I'm gonna take Miguel Baeza to get the win. Now we're on to the co-main event of the fight card. In the middleweight division, we got Ciao Barallo versus Gadzi Omo Gadziev. Oh, I didn't butcher that. Omo Gadziev. We'll go with that. Anyway, let's take a look at Barallo. He's 29 years old now. 10 wins, only 1 defeat on his record. In them 10 wins, he's got 4 KOs, 3 submissions. He's had 2 fights on Dana White's Contender Series. He's won them both. One by decision, one by knockout. Interesting. Undefeated in 10 fights. It's a 10 fight win streak. This is the one fight he did lose. It was only his second MMA professional fight. But yeah, man, he's a good technical striker. He holds his hands low. Y'all know I hate that. He's got like a karate-ish style. And yeah, man, he's okay on the ground. He's got a bit of BJJ. But yeah. Decent stand-up striker. Stand-up striker, stand-up fighter. Flipping hell am I about. Let's take a look at Gadzi Omar Gadziev. 29 years old, undefeated fighter, 13 wins, 8 by KO, 3 by submission. Really impressive. Also fighting off Dana White's Contender Series. This is his UFC debut. Both fighters making their UFC debut. And yet they're on the flipping co-main event. That shows you how high this fight is and like how high they're rated. Omar Gadziev's got a slight height advantage in this one. He's a really good striker. Solid grappler. He's got BJJ. He mixes it up when he is standing. And he's better on the ground in this fight. He's got the better ground game. On the feet, I'd say Barallo's probably got a better stand-up, but on the ground, yeah, man. Omar Gadziev's better there. This is a really, really good matchup. And neither of them have been tested in the UFC, so we don't know what to fully expect. I'm gonna pick Omar Gadziev. Just because he seems a bit more tidy in his fighting style. He does get heavy though, like starts throwing heavy, and I think it might affect his cardio in a bit. But he ain't giving up in this fight. He's one of them Russian fighters, tough as they come. Risky fight, really good fight, interesting. But I'm taking Omar Gadziev to get a win. Now we're on to the main event of the fight card. This card was built around in the men's welterweight division. We got Vicente Luque versus Belal Muhammed. Let's take a look at Vicente Luque. Really, really like him as a fighter, man. Really, really good fighter. Fun fighter to watch. 30 years old. 21 wins. 7 losses, 1 draw. He can knock you out. He can submit you. Dude is a well-rounded. He's a definition of an MMA fighter. Mixed martial artist, can do it all. He's dangerous. He's a sharp striker. He has power. He's really good on the ground with the ground game. Scary BJJ. He's tough. He's got heart. He's well conditioned. What's not to like about Luque? Let's take a look at his opponent, Belal Muhammad. Got to big him up as much as I did Vicente. Belal Muhammad's 33 years old. 20 wins, only 3 losses. I'm pretty sure he's only lost 2 fights in the UFC. 2 or 3. Something like that. But he's on a 7-fight undefeated run in the UFC right now. Strong grappler. Good ground and pound. has got the jiu-jitsu. He's an okay striker, but he gets hit. He's not shy to fight. He won't shy away from a stand-up fight, but yeah, he gets hit a bit. He's got high drive, man. He puts the pressure on. Good fighter, good chain wrestler. He does tire a bit. Like, his cardio's alright, but he starts fading in the fight just because of the high output he puts on and the strong wrestling he does. I don't think it's going to be enough to mess with Vicente Luque, I'll be honest. Belal's a good wrestler. Probably a better wrestler than Luque, but Luque's got a way better jiu-jitsu. So it's evened out a bit there. When it comes to striking, I think Luque's got more power. And I think he's got a better technique and better stand-up game. So hey, yo. You can probably guess where I'm going with this one. Vicente Luque to get the win in a big fight in the main event. If you guys have made it to the end of the video, massive thank you. Really appreciate it. Please don't forget to like the video. Lets me know that you guys enjoyed this and want to see more. Drop your comments below. Love hearing your feedback, and I like seeing who you guys predicting the fights. Love hearing your ideas. And as always, subscribe, man, if you want to see more. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified as soon as we drop the videos. I say it's a one-man team, it's just me. But yeah, let's enjoy the fights. Let's make some money. Big yourself up. Yeah.